too much weight. It's too much weight not to put the strap on.
Hey everybody, it's BaronJ, and this week I kinda screwed up. No, seriously, in doing research for Last Exile, I found out there are actually 2 entries in the franchise, both of which can be referred to as Last Exile. So, as is my nature, I watched the wrong one first and got really fucking confused. So panic set in as I realized I had nothing prepared, so I'm bringing you a review of one of my favorite shows of all time, which actually makes me pretty happy to give to you guys. Beck is a show that was released in around October 2004-ish, and it was around that time where I hadn't really come out as an anime fan or anything like that. It was just something I watched in my spare time. And of course, I really didn't know that much about anime at the time, so I knew that Madhouse made good stuff and I just watched a lot of what they did. Now, I've talked about this before, but I make music in my spare time and is my prime passion over this channel. All of the non-copyrighted music you've heard thus far is stuff that I've made or that I've created on the spot. And you can look forward to some of that in the future. So, naturally, as a younger, angsty lad, I was drawn in by the concept of an anime about a kid joining a band and the trials of his adolescence. Between this and Gurren Lagann, these were 2 shows that had a resounding impact on me and who I am. So, what time is it? It's plot time. It is the time of plot. Koyuki, as he's known, is your average high school student who wants to fit in. Through a series of events, he meets several other musicians and helps form a band after working to hone his latent talent as a guitarist and a vocalist. Actually, yeah, that's it. That's all there is to this show. Well, there's also this guy's backstory, the main character's romance with this guy's sister, and a bit of comedic tomfoolery in between. But mainly, boy, practice, band, and then the big show, with a little bit of really well executed boy meets girl. The show's simplicity allows for it to execute an intensely engaging coming-of-age tale, so much that when Koyuki, as he is a young kid, fucks up, it's tense. Like, incredibly, genuinely tense. Like when you're hanging out with friends and one gets in an argument with the other and it's just like, guys, stop fighting. They don't sugarcoat it either, like, seriously. And he suffers in his circle of friends as a result. But once he finally develops as a character and proves he can truly rock, as one might say, you might feel emotional. I fucking cried. Like, not even in this is really sad, but happy context. The show spoke to me so much that I was shaken to my very core, and along with several other influences, spurred me on to pursue audio engineering and music production as a career. But this show is not perfect. Hardly. Going back after all of this and watching it again, there are a couple things I've noticed that aren't glaring faults, but just things that I really didn't see the first time around. For one, though the main arc is pretty simple, it takes a while for this guy to get the gig. By the time the band fully forms, I too finally remember saying, oh, it's about fucking time. And not ironically either. That also adds to the fact that sometimes when you're watching this, you might feel like nothing's happening. Believe me, something is. Be patient. Because of his backstory in America, Ryusuke has a strange accent in Japanese, but he speaks a lot of English with a heavy accent. But the Americans he does interact with also do, and it's a little distracting. But that's coming from somebody who speaks the language, so as far as authenticity, it's absolutely fine. But the good here far outweighs the bad. It goes without saying, but the music is phenomenal. The band's performances are animated near perfectly with some minor filler stuff that still looks technically correct from a musician standpoint, although I seriously doubt he's actually playing this the way that I think he is. This is one of the details that can break a music show, and Beck does it with style. The music itself is really friggin' catchy. Stuff that's reminiscent of Rage Against the Machine to the main single that they have called Face, and there's even a cover of I've Got a Feeling by the Beatles. It's incredibly listenable. And finally, the conclusion of the show left me with a feeling similar to every fucking time I finish Fooly Cooly. It's this oddly nostalgic mindset that makes me want to go create something, go tell a story, go visit an old friend, or, well... Here's the end of the video, and here's the subscribe button in the Facebook and Twitter. If you have a suggestion for a show for me to watch, let me know in the comments. I'll also say things in a really funny voice. Honestly, I don't know. That started out as 80s hair metal, and then it turned into something else. I'm not entirely sure what that was. But yeah, I am working on Last Exile. I have to finish watching the first part of this show and then go back and continue the second part after I stopped watching it because I couldn't tell what was going on. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.